I mean, think how extraordinary it is that we could have a human practice that has been done for centuries, and we could find ourselves at a moment and having to ask the question, what does it mean?
People just want specific things to buy or to acquire, yeah? So nobody goes beyond what our commercial culture offers to us.
And I don't hate the art world, but do I think that the art world is totally isolated from political practice? Yes. And do I think it has a way back? No.
I think it is clear to everybody, and nobody is interested in art anymore, yeah? So I think that art is over. And because of that, I don't think that we have to make additional efforts to criticize art or to struggle against it.
Why make art now? You ask that question with the thought that the practice that you're engaged in ought to offer you an answer. You look at the history of your practices, and they don't offer you any answer, so then you become despairing, and the next step after despair is cynicism.
In my last movie, I filmed conversations between me and a bunch of my artist friends. We talked about why it feels impossible to make art right now, or at least to make art that feels like it's doing something that hasn't been done before. Hollywood is churning out endless sequels, and the galleries are full of bad imitations of 20th century art. So why does art suck today? In this film, I went looking for answers to that question, from intellectuals who have devoted their lives to studying and thinking deeply about the history of art. Most other films which attempt to deal with this problem end up blaming the market. They complain about how since the 1980s, wild speculation in the art market has created a situation in which rich collectors determine taste. But this problem is nothing new. In fact, it was the market itself which enabled art as an autonomous practice to exist in the first place. The problem we face today is a far deeper one. I suspect that the failure of art today has to do with the fact that for my generation of millennial artists, the history of modernism is totally opaque. To them, it does not appear that Cézanne, Picasso, Duchamp, Jackson Pollock, or Robert Smithson were dealing with a series of crises within art and society, of which their art was an aesthetic objectification. It appears, rather, that these figures merely made a series of stylistic discoveries, which now allow new avenues for expression, like unlocking new levels of a video game. Today's artists live in a world where their older cousin has already beaten the game, and all the levels are open to explore. Has this seeming freedom of movement produced better art? Let's find out. footage that you just saw is the first 5 minutes of a feature-length documentary film that I made about the state of contemporary art. And we are currently looking for opportunities to screen the film. We're looking for independent movie theaters, underground cinemas, art galleries, art spaces, art museums, institutions. Basically, any opportunity that we can find, we would love to take advantage of to be able to show this film to artists because we feel it's important. And not only just artists, but people who are concerned about art and about the legacy of modernism and its impact on the present, and how artists might move forward through this impasse in which many of us feel that we've found ourselves. So, yeah, if you want to organize a screening in your city or at your venue, please reach out. We would love to hear from you.